This Week in Defense News with Vago Muradian.
Good morning and welcome to This Week in Defense News. I'm Vago Muradian. The Bush administration recently reversed course, taking North Korea off the U.S. government's list of state sponsors of terrorism to get Pyongyang to stop its nuclear program. One expert on the reclusive state will share his ideas later in the show. But first, the Pentagon's Program Analysis and Evaluation Office, known universally as PA&E, was formed in 1961 as part of then Defense Secretary Robert McNamara's sweeping Pentagon reforms. Its charter was to bring modern analytical tools to improve budgeting, program management, strategic plans, and resource allocation. Nearly a half-century later, the office still gives the Pentagon leadership independent advice on everything from DoD's 6-year spending plan to future trends in technology, alternative weapon systems, and alternative force structures. It's also shaping the upcoming presidential transition, so the handover of one of the world's most complex organizations goes smoothly. Joining us is Brad Berkson, Director of Program Analysis and Evaluation at the Pentagon. Brad, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here, Vago.
Sir, let's start off where we left off in terms of the capability trades that your office has looked at. As this next administration comes into office, what are some of the things that you would leave for them, things you should live, things that shouldn't, things that should be changed? I mean, what are sort of some of the lessons learned to-do list that you're going to pass in the next administration?
I think the big challenge with regard to trades for the next administration is one we've been facing over the last few years. It's really the technological investments one needs to maintain superiority with the highest end threats in the world versus the resources to support most of the current operations. And while in
which are
certain
much lower intensity operations.
In general, especially in areas like air defense, missile defense, a number of capabilities that one needs really to deal with the highest end threat. But at the low end, it's just the level of need is not as significant. So Secretary Gates has been driving this point home, and I really agree with it, that we have to think about that balance, because a large portion of our resources end up going into defending against a threat in the future of a very technologically capable foe. And while it's very likely that those capabilities will proliferate over time and that we cannot abandon our investment in those areas for fear of leaving ourselves vulnerable as a country, it really becomes a real challenge to think how much is enough in that area, especially when I'm facing a global war on terrorism, which has more near to the present and more current challenges and requires investment as well.